Thank you.
Blake, as a VP of marketing, you are working with so many different teams, and it's a kind of a big like you have to play a big role there of translating the thoughts from one team to other, and then ultimately taking a decision to make sure that when it is like a campaign, when it is actually going to go on a Facebook or Instagram or YouTube. Uh, how do you think, how do you manage all that between different teams? How do you find that resonance? How do you make sure that you are able to communicate what the brand stands for, but you are able to listen to everyone's thoughts? How do you find this? It's a very complicated thing, but as a VP, you must have figured out a way for that.
Yeah, I mean, really it's the basics of communication 101.
Yeah,
Are people talking? Do people understand how their job affects other people's jobs?
yeah,
Do people understand, in terms of like, and really just breaking down the process, and do people understand at what point do I communicate what, right? And I always say I love organizational behavior. If I didn't study marketing, I would have like been an HR director or something like
true.
that because I love company cultures. I read the Zappos book 100 times over, and
Yes,
I really, really love that kind of stuff. But you know, a lot of the companies that I come into, everyone really the problem is that everyone works in a silo,
true.
right?
That's true.
So they don't understand how how if I'm doing a big huge marketing campaign and expect X, right? How's that going to impact operations? You know what I mean? Did we order enough into that?
Yeah,
Is the plan sort of foolproof? And
that's
I can just sort of talk about experiences in this own business. When I came on,
true.
design and product was not speaking to marketing.
Oh,
They were
okay.
not developing into reasons for being.
Yeah,
So it was like, here's the product, and then this was historically a wholesale business. So
yeah.
that level of communication and translating to the consumer
Mm-hmm.
was never needed,
Yeah.
right?
Mm-hmm.
Because it was like, hey, here's REI, they want a bunch of leggings, let's make it,
Yeah.
right? And then putting that online. Well, that doesn't work, right? Well, as
Mm-hmm.
we know, when you're sort of building a direct to consumer business. So what I've been spending a lot of time doing is
Mm-hmm.
turning this organization inside out and making sure that those silos of communication are broken down, creating the platforms, creating the reports, having everybody sort of speak the same language. And working towards sort of a true north. And I think when you can set up an organization where everybody is working towards the same goal and the true north, and when you sort of communicate those goals on the onset of what are the goals of the business by department, and what is the overall goal of the business, and how does your piece play, uh, how does your job play a role in that goal, the
Yeah.
sooner you can get people to communicate that, then the sooner you can get people in the organization communicating together to develop a truly integrated interdepartmental sort of organization, right? That is multi-touch, that is, almost over communicating, and that is making sure that they sort of have that process and plan in place.
Wow, excellent thought. Yeah. So yeah, the communication can literally merge the boundaries. I mean, typically in a company culture, that's important and great role in making sure that goals are achieved. So that's an excellent.